What do you think, looking back on that season, so last season, was one of the biggest misconceptions of the Indiana Fever? Like, maybe it was like locker room stuff. I feel like early on,
oh my
like,
gosh, that, oh my gosh, there was so much locker room talk. Oh my gosh, her body language, she was not happy. She hates this entire squad.
What exactly does Aliyah Boston think about Caitlin Clark? In a fresh and unfiltered interview on Sue Bird's Bird's Eye View podcast, Boston finally opened up in a way fans have never seen before. She revealed everything, from her very first impression of Caitlin back in their college battles, to what it has been like playing alongside her as teammates on the Indiana Fever, and how their relationship has developed over time. She even shared how she reacted when Clark went down with her recent injury. On top of that, Boston dropped some hilarious and surprisingly honest locker room stories that have everyone talking. This wasn't just another generic sit-down conversation. It was raw, authentic, and at times downright funny. If you want to support Aliyah, Caitlin, and the Indiana Fever, drop an A, B, and CC in the comments below. Let's get into it. From the moment Caitlin Clark entered the Fever's locker room, people within the organization were whispering that not every player was happy with the situation. Some teammates quietly admitted, "This isn't where I want to be. This isn't what I signed up for." New dynamics, new attention, and new energy had shifted the culture inside the building. But while some questioned their place, Aliyah Boston made it clear she was ready to embrace the challenge. It's worth remembering what Sheryl Swoopes once said about the Fever's locker room tensions. Well, Aliyah Boston just delivered the ultimate clapback, shutting down all the outside noise with her honesty and humor. When Caitlin Clark first came to Indiana, no one was more curious, or more blunt, than Boston. These two had gone head-to-head in one of the most unforgettable Final Four matchups in recent history, and Aliyah had not forgotten what Caitlin did that night. Clark dropped 40 points, and for Boston, that wasn't the kind of performance you could just brush aside once you suddenly became teammates. She admitted she had to confront it directly. Boston recalled with laughter how she approached Caitlin. "I just need to say this, I'm still upset about what you did in that Final Four game. You didn't have to go for 40 on our heads like that. We could have just had fun instead of you torching us." But once she got it off her chest, the tension disappeared. They laughed it off, and as Aliyah explained, being on the same team now made it easy to move forward. She joked that it was still funny to her how quickly they went from rivals to teammates, but ultimately, she reassured Caitlin she wasn't holding a grudge. Instead of creating resentment, the whole exchange turned into a moment of humor and connection. Boston's ability to address it with honesty showed how grounded she is, and it also revealed how quickly she could shift from seeing Clark as a competitor to embracing her as a partner. The mutual respect between the two was obvious, and once they started playing together, that respect only deepened. As the season unfolded, the chemistry between Aliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark became impossible to ignore. Boston explained what makes their connection work, and it went far beyond stats or box scores. It was about instinct, trust, and the ability to read each other's movements without ever having to call for the ball. She broke it down in detail, pointing out how much defensive attention Caitlin draws. Teams know that if they go under screens, Caitlin is going to pull up and hit the shot. And if they step up, her passing vision is so sharp that she finds Boston in the perfect spot every time. Boston praised Clark's ability to deliver passes at exactly the right angle, making her job easier. She even shared that she literally watches Caitlin's eyes during games to know when and where the ball is coming. Without a single word spoken, she can read Clark's intent and move accordingly. This, she explained, is what makes their partnership so dangerous. It's not just talent, it's basketball IQ working in perfect sync. But when Caitlin Clark joined the Fever, it wasn't just the team's roster that changed, it was the entire spotlight. Suddenly, every move they made was under a microscope. Expectations skyrocketed overnight, with fans and media treating them as though they were already a super team, even though they were still learning to play together. Aliyah admitted that those first few weeks were overwhelming. They had to adjust to a new offensive system, new dynamics, and unrealistic pressure to win instantly. The so-called Caitlin Clark effect was undeniable, and Aliyah felt it in full. She acknowledged that the flood of attention was ultimately a good thing for the league. Fans might initially come to games just to watch Caitlin, but they ended up leaving impressed with the entire team. Still, the media frenzy wasn't easy. Every missed connection on the court became a rumor, and every piece of body language was dissected like game tape. For Aliyah, who already puts a ton of pressure on herself, the noise became too much. So she logged off social media. Boston explained that it wasn't about Caitlin at all, it was about her own mental health. People online were calling me the worst post player they'd ever seen, she said. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to step away. She admitted it was hard to deal with trolls when she already held herself to such high standards. By stepping away from the online noise, she was able to reset and focus on what really mattered, improving her game and supporting her team. Of course, that didn't stop fans and media from running wild with conspiracy theories. Rumors spread about locker room drama, supposed beef, and imaginary silent treatments between Boston and Clark. But according to Aliyah, none of it was real. She laughed as she remembered waking up from a nap before a game, only to see people online claiming the team hated each other. She walked into the locker room and asked her teammates, "Girl, you good?" They laughed it off and got ready to play. The so-called tension was nothing more than internet fiction. Aliyah stressed that the truth inside the locker room was completely different from what the outside world thought. The team was unified, focused, and fully committed to winning. She said she hates when outsiders pretend to know what's happening behind closed doors because unless you're in the locker room, you have no clue. The Fever protect their bond, and if there ever were issues, no one would know because the team knows how to handle things professionally. When the Fever made their return to the playoffs in 2024, their run was short, but for Aliyah Boston, the experience was invaluable. She reflected on their series against the Connecticut Sun with both pride and frustration. In Game 1, the Suns' veteran experience allowed them to pull away. In Game 2, the Fever were right there, on the brink of forcing a deciding Game 3. Aliyah believed that if they had managed to bring it back to Indiana, they would have won. That near miss stuck with her and fueled her hunger for more. By her third season, Boston's mindset had shifted. The Fever were no longer underdogs sneaking up on opponents. With a new coaching staff, key off-season signings, and the Caitlin Clark spotlight, the expectations were clear, they were supposed to win now. Aliyah embraced that challenge, explaining that the team doesn't shy away from pressure. Instead, they see it as motivation. Every opponent is gunning for them, but that's exactly where they want to be. Then came 2025, a season that didn't go according to the Fever's ideal script. Early hype quickly collided with harsh reality as the team was hit with a wave of injuries, including a major one to Caitlin Clark. For such a young squad, losing a central figure like Clark could have shattered their season. But Boston revealed that the team's philosophy of "next woman up" kept them from breaking. From day one, their message was clear: injuries will happen, but excuses won't be accepted. Aliyah broke down the difference between playing with and without Caitlin. When Clark is on the court, the game is fast-paced and relentless. She pushes the tempo, gets the ball out quickly, and forces defenses to scramble. Without her, the Fever slow things down, working through half-court sets, moving the ball from side to side, and grinding out baskets with execution. It's a different style, but Boston says it's made them a more versatile team. Still, she admitted that watching Caitlin go down was tough emotionally. Clark's competitive fire and love for the game are unmatched, and losing her was a blow. But Aliyah also pointed out that her absence brought out the best in their veterans. Players like Natasha Howard, Kelsey Mitchell, Sophie Cunningham, and especially Sydney Colson stepped up. Colson, often known as the team's comedian, revealed a different side, becoming a steady leader who knows when to crack a joke and when to pull someone aside for encouragement. Aliyah shared how valuable Colson's voice has been, saying she knows exactly what to say to keep everyone grounded. That kind of leadership has been crucial in helping the team weather injuries and adversity. The Fever have learned how to win ugly, how to adapt, and how to lean on each other when things get tough. Now, the Fever find themselves in the middle of a brutal semi-final battle with the Las Vegas Aces. Despite being battered by injuries to 6 key players, they refuse to fold. Head coach Stephanie White praised Aliyah Boston for being the anchor of the team, The Rock balancing fierce competitiveness with emotional leadership. As the series shifts back to Indiana, the Fever are not just fighting for wins, they're making a statement. This season, Aliyah Boston has proven she's more than just a star player. She's the foundation of a team that refuses to break under pressure. Through injuries, media storms, and sky-high expectations, she has remained steady, guiding her team forward alongside Caitlin Clark and the rest of the Fever. Together, they've turned adversity into fuel, doubt into determination, and setbacks into a stronger identity. The message is clear: the Indiana Fever are not going anywhere. They're for real, and the best is still ahead. If you've been underestimating them, now is the time to pay attention. Drop A, B, and CC in the comments to show your support for Aliyah, Caitlin, and the Fever. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click on the video on your screen, and we'll see you in the next one.